sound the alarms, grab your life vests, and secure your emotional baggage right now.
Oh, we are coming in hot today.
We really are. The international red flags are just flying at full mast today, and they are whipping in the wind of absolute sheer delusion.
Honestly, it is a full-blown catastrophe of epic proportions, and I am, like, completely living for the absolute chaos of it all.
Same. Babes, welcome back. We love you, we see you, and honestly, every time we watch 90 Day Fiancé, our own dating lives start looking surprisingly stable and significantly less likely to involve customs paperwork.
Oh, it is the absolute truth. I mean, we've got the limoncello spritzes on deck today, so cheers, bestie.
Cheers to that.
Let us formally toast to the Snark Squad and, honestly, to us for surviving another week of our own messy lives so we can brutally dissect the lives of others.
I will drink to that every single time. And speaking of our own messy lives, I need to check in on you.
Oh, no.
Because how is the new completely unhinged millionaire mindset challenge going? Because the last time I came over to your place, your living room literally looked like a crime scene at a Parker Brothers factory.
I can explain.
There was just money everywhere in the strangest little piles. I was so confused.
Okay, we need to unpack this because I am fully spiraling into my own delusions right now, and I am just leaning in.
Purely.
I was watching Paula's absolute unwavering optimism on screen this week, and I thought, you know what? If she can manifest a fairy tale out of a literal nightmare, I can manifest generational wealth out of thin air.
Right, because those two things are exactly the same.
Totally. So I've started creating these tiny stacks of cash around the apartment.
Tiny stacks.
Tiny. I'm talking like Monopoly money vibes.
Yeah.
I take the exact same $20 bill, fold it up with a couple of singles, and move it from the kitchen counter to the nightstand to the coffee table.
You just move the same $20 around.
Yeah. I am convincing myself that small stacks attract big stacks. It's, the law of attraction, right?
Gosh.
You put the energy out there, and the universe provides.
Babes, I love you, but it currently looks like grocery money, not generational wealth.
It's the aesthetic of wealth.
You left $5 and a crumpled 20 next to your toothbrush. It looks like you're trying to tip your own reflection in the bathroom mirror.
I know. But the delusion is the point. Babes, we're manifesting penthouse energy with Monopoly money vibes.
I mean, I guess.
If you act like you have piles of cash casually lying around, your brain starts operating from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. At least, that's what TikTok told me at 2 in the morning.
I support this deeply chaotic journey for you. I really do. Honestly, it's a modern luxury to be able to just casually leave $22 on a bathroom sink to attract the universe.
A few.
Most people would just buy a sandwich.
Well, speaking of modern luxuries, watching these couples really puts things into perspective for me this week.
Oh, completely. Seeing the absolute squalor and the conditions some of these people are expected to tolerate made me sit down and legitimately debate the modern conveniences I refuse to sacrifice for anyone, let alone for some international love affair.
Oh, I have my list ready. I was yelling at the TV. Air conditioning is non-negotiable.
100%.
I do not care if you look like a Greek god and own a literal villa in Tuscany. If there is no central air, our romance is dead on arrival. I will not sweat for a man.
Absolutely not. The heat makes people irrational. And add Google Maps to that list, please.
Oh, true.
I have zero sense of direction. If a man takes me to a foreign country and takes away my GPS, I am officially a missing person.
You would be lost in 5 minutes.
Exactly. I need to know where the nearest airport is at all times so I can escape when the red flags start waving.
Yes. Also, dishwashers. I am not spending an hour scrubbing pots while you tell me about your day.
No, absolutely not.
And food delivery apps. If we get into a fight, I need to be able to silently order spicy noodles to my exact coordinates without speaking to another human being. It's vital for emotional regulation.
And wireless headphones so I can tune out the nonsense.
Yes, to all of that. And let's make it very clear. Not deodorant like Paula. Good Lord.
Honestly.
We will get into the psychology of that absolute tragedy in a minute, but the idea of giving up basic hygiene for a man's alleged allergies is where I draw the line in permanent marker.
Oh my God, the deodorant situation is a human rights violation.
Truly.
But before we get there, I have to tell you what I've been doing instead of manifesting with singles all over my house.
Oh, do tell.
You know my Italian classes?
Yes, the ones you started because you just, love the culture and definitely had no ulterior motives whatsoever.
Exactly. So my instructor is named Giovanni,
Of course he is.
and let me tell you, Giovanni is dangerously handsome. Like, it is actually a hazard to my educational progression at this point.
I am so invested in this.
When he conjugates a verb, the entire room just goes completely silent.
Are we actually learning verbs, though? Or are we just staring blankly while he speaks?
Yeah.
Because last time we talked, you just knew how to say cheese.
Look, I am absolutely showing up for the language, but I am staying partially for the prolonged, unblinking eye contact.
Naturally.
But here's where it gets really interesting. I am actually shocking myself. After 3 months of basically just trying to impress this man and make him think I am cultured and mysterious, I am actually okay at Italian.
Wait, really? You're actually retaining the information?
Yes. I ordered coffee the other day, held a basic conversation with the barista, and I felt disproportionately proud of myself.
That is amazing.
Like I was ready to pack my bags, move to Rome, ride a Vespa, and star in my own romantic comedy.
See, now that is a productive delusion.
Yeah.
That is actual skill building right there. You are using an intense crush to rewire your brain's language center.
Thank you.
That's just evolutionary biology at work. Not like my weekend where I fell into a full selfie museum identity crisis.
Wait, you went to one of those places, the ones with the bright pink walls and the fake payphones.
I did, and I completely spiraled. I completely lost my grip on reality while I was in there.
Why did you go?
A friend dragged me, and you pay actual hard-earned money to walk into rooms specifically designed for Instagram.
Right.
And then you spend 20 minutes contorting your body to find the exact candid angle surrounded by 50 other people doing the exact same thing in complete silence.
It's so awkward. Everyone aggressively posing while pretending they aren't posing.
Exactly.
Oh, I was just casually laughing at the floor while adjusting my sunglasses indoors.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I stood in a ball pit filled with plastic flamingos, and I just started questioning everything. Like, this raises an important question. Is this an avant-garde art installation about modern narcissism and the panopticon of social media? Or is it just an air-conditioned content factory for people who want to look like they have interesting lives?
It is 100% an air-conditioned content factory.
Right. You're curating an image of fun, but the actual lived reality of being in that room is incredibly bleak.
Oh, it is performative reality at its finest. But we do love a good ring light setup, so I can't really judge.
True.
Which honestly is the perfect metaphor for everything we are about to discuss today. But babes, enough about our miniature money stacks, Giovanni-induced Italian fluency, and selfie museum identity crises. Let's get into 90 Day Fiancé, where people are crossing oceans for love while we're over here practicing Italian verbs and manifesting larger denominations of cats.
Yes, past the limoncello. We need to dive into the architecture of absolute control.
I am so ready.
Let's start with the physical environment, because what is happening in Thomas and Paula's apartment is a literal study in spatial dominance. Let's talk about the 800-square-foot clown car.
I cannot physically comprehend the math of this situation. I was pausing the screen trying to calculate it.
It makes no sense.
Paula invites her entire family from Brazil. That is 8 people, plus Thomas, plus Paula. That is 10 human beings cramming into a tiny one-bedroom, one-bathroom apartment.
It defies the laws of physics.
Truly.
It defies fire codes, and it deeply defies basic human decency.
How does the bathroom even work? 10 people, 1 shower. Think about the morning routine.
Don't even get me started on the bathroom logistics. But if you calculate the square footage, that is like 80 square feet per person. That is the size of a standard prison cell.
That is so dark.
It is. And what's fascinating here is the sheer delusional optimism of Paula. She genuinely thinks this is going to be a fun, family bonding sleepover.
She really does. She's smiling in her confessional.
She's picturing late-night chats and making breakfast together. But as the analytical cynic in the room, I am absolutely horrified by the sheer volume of red flags Thomas is proudly waving. He is actively creating an environment designed to break them down.
He is bragging about it. Did you catch that? He literally brags to the cameras about spending $0 to prepare for her family's arrival.
$0, not a single cent.
He expects a family of 8 who just flew across the equator to support his marriage to sleep on camping furniture.
A cot. A foldable camping chair that turns into a medieval torture device.
It looks so uncomfortable. Her poor mother.
And this is what kills me. Let's look at the resource allocation in that apartment.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
The Snark squad on Reddit did the math. Did you see his computer set up in the background of those scenes?
Some massive glowing monitors, the neon lights. I couldn't look away from it.
Yes. He has a $3,000 to $4,000 gaming PC setup taking up half the living room. It's an altar to himself.
Seriously.
But he refuses to buy a dining room table or a television for Paula or her family. He forces 10 people to eat on his covered computer desk.
It was so humiliating to watch. He literally threw a sheet over his gaming desk and said, "Dinner is served,"
while the monitor's still humming in the background.
It is the ultimate selfishness. He is perfectly fine spending thousands on his own digital entertainment, but he won't spend a dime at IKEA to give his future in-laws a place to sit and eat a meal.
It's a statement of hierarchy.
Absolutely.
He is the king, and they are the peasants eating off his keyboard cover. And then he lays down the rules of the house.
Oh, the rules. He turns his apartment into a sensory deprivation chamber designed for total compliance.
It really is.
Like, no shoes, fine, standard. Lots of people do that. No smells. Insane. But no SOP.
I had to rewind that part.
He told a family of 8 that they had just flown 14 hours from Brazil, and they are only allowed to wash their adult bodies with unscented baby soap.
Because of his alleged sensitivities. Let's talk about the psychology of sensory control for a second.
Please do.
If you can control what someone smells like, what they wear, and how they wash themselves, you are stripping them of their identity.
Wow, yeah.
You're making them conform entirely to your physical parameters.
Yeah.
And Paula, sweet, deeply confused Paula, she actually stopped wearing deodorant and perfume to appease his allergies.
Let's unpack the deodorant drama right now, because I was screaming at my television and aggressively clutching my limoncello.
I was too.
Paula wants to wear perfume for her own wedding so she doesn't smell like body odor on her big day, which is entirely reasonable. It's an outdoor wedding. They are sweating. There are 10 people sharing one bathroom with no air conditioning.
It's a biological hazard in that apartment. It is a petri dish.
Literally. And when she brings up wearing one tiny spritz of perfume for her wedding day, Thomas issues a literal deal-breaker ultimatum.
Over a cent.
He looks at her with these dead eyes and tells her, "You have the option to not get married to me over a spritz of Dior."
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it is crucial to understand that this is not about the perfume. It is never about the perfume.
Right.
It is about coercive control. Coercive control is a strategic pattern of behavior designed to exploit, dominate, and isolate a partner.
It's terrifying when you put it like that.
He has curated a rigid, hermetically sealed life because he lacks emotional regulation. The minute something steps outside his comfort zone, whether it's an unexpected guest, a loud noise, or a floral scent, he completely shatters.
He panics.
Exactly. And instead of managing his own anxiety, he forces the entire world to shrink to fit his neuroses.
I want to push back on one thing, though, just a little bit. Is he doing this maliciously, or is he just so deeply rigid that he literally cannot compute the needs of other people?
That's a valid question.
Because part of me watches him and thinks he genuinely doesn't understand why a cot isn't a suitable bed for a 60-year-old woman. Like, his brain just doesn't process empathy.
Regardless of his intent, though, the impact is abusive. When you look at the fridge horror, the lack of empathy becomes undeniable. We have to talk about the steak.
Oh my God, I almost threw up my spritz when that happened. Paula's brother, who, by the way, is the only one speaking sense in this entire family right now.
Give that man a spin-off.
Seriously, he snoops in the fridge and pulls out a piece of meat.
A steak that expired 2 years ago? It was fossilized.
It was brown. It looked like a leather shoe. And Thomas defends it.
The audacity.
He says he was saving it to make soup. 2-year-old expired meat soup? For his vegan fiancé and her family?
It is a hygiene nightmare of epic proportions. This isn't just frugality. This is the sunk cost fallacy applied to biological waste.
Disgusting.
He cannot bear to throw something away because he paid for it, even if it is literally rotting in his appliance. This man has no resilience, no flexibility, and a refrigerator full of botulism.
Honestly, it's so true.
He wants Paula to be a scentless houseplant that stands in the corner until he wants to look at her.
From a man who uses the physical environment to control his partner, let's look at a woman who uses the psychological environment and therapy speak to control hers.
Yes, the transition.
We have to talk about Marissa and Edward.
The absolute CEO of gaslighting, currently operating out of New York. Marissa is taking everything we know about healthy communication and violently weaponizing it.
Okay, so we have to set the scene for the Snark squad. Their brilliant solution to their incredibly toxic, fractured relationship is they get a puppy.
Ah, yes. The classic, let's fix our deep-seated unresolved trauma with a high-maintenance pet trope.
Works every time, right?
Let's introduce a helpless, dependent animal into a volatile environment. to act as a fluffy Band-Aid. It's a form of triangulation, honestly.
What do you mean?
When they can't communicate with each other, they funnel all their energy into the dog, creating a false sense of unity.
That makes sense. So they name him Rocky, and for about 5 minutes, Marissa claims she is being more affectionate and things are going great. She's smiling, they're walking the dog, the sun is shining.
And then reality hits.
But then she takes Edward to her bar class.
This was such a calculated move. Nothing says healthy partnership like bringing your much younger, non-English-speaking fiancé to your place of work so you can exert absolute dominance over him.
It was so uncomfortable to watch.
She brings him into her arena, where she has all the power, all the vocabulary, and the authority. She treats him like a struggling subordinate who can't hold a plank.
She loves to micromanage his fitness. She's physically adjusting him, criticizing his form in front of everyone. But the real disaster, the moment my jaw actually hit the floor, happens at dinner.
Oh, the dinner.
They sit down, they order, and instantly, Marissa goes into mom mode. She literally tells a grown man to put his napkin in his lap like Joanne taught us manners.
Joanne being her mother, it was so deeply demeaning. Let's analyze the mechanics of this for a second.
Let's do it.
By invoking a maternal figure and instructing him on basic table manners, she is aggressively infantilizing him.
Exactly.
When you treat a partner like a child, you destroy the romantic and equitable foundation of the relationship. You establish a dynamic where you are the authority and they are the misbehaving kid.
And you could see his face just drop.
Her face just darkened too. The disdain she has for him is just palpable.
But Edward, to his credit, is really trying to be healthy. He's trying to communicate, which is exactly what she begged him to do episodes ago.
Right, he's doing the homework.
He says, look, I've done the work on my jealousy. I've realized that if you ever cheat on me, it is your loss, not mine.
A perfectly reasonable, secure statement.
Exactly. He is trying to establish a healthy boundary and show that he is finding his own self-worth.
And Marissa completely flips the script. It was a masterclass in manipulation. I want everyone listening to understand the psychological term for what Marissa does here. It's called DARV.
Oh, I've heard of this. Break it down.
It stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. Edward sets a calm boundary. Marissa feels her control slipping, so she attacks. She accuses him of showing signs of aggression and anger.
But wait, let me play devil's advocate for a second, just to be fair.
Go for it.
Edward did bring up cheating out of nowhere during a nice dinner. Was his delivery maybe a little blunt? Like, could she have genuinely been triggered by the mere mention of infidelity?
I mean, even if his delivery was clumsy, look at his tone. He wasn't yelling. He was speaking so calmly. His voice was practically a whisper.
That's true. He was very chill.
He was offering reassurance that he was no longer going to act crazy with jealousy. But Marissa weaponizes her past relationship trauma. She claims she is triggered by his aggression. She tells him to lower his voice.
When he wasn't even raising it.
Exactly. And then she storms out of the restaurant, blaming him for ruining what was supposed to be a light night. She made herself the victim of an attack that literally never happened.
We both have to agree on this. Marissa is getting one of the worst, most controlling edits a woman has gotten on this franchise in years.
And honestly, it's not even an edit. It's just her actual behavior on display.
True.
She demands he communicate. And the second he expresses a secure boundary that she doesn't control, she punishes him with abandonment.
She doesn't want a partner. She wants a perfectly trained employee who says, yes, boss, folds his napkin perfectly, and never challenges her authority.
100%.
Marissa uses therapy language to control, but our next couple uses sheer cognitive dissonance. Let's pivot to Catie and Josh, the slow-motion car crash of the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, this scene was a psychological thriller. Catie is demanding structure and religious purity while simultaneously craving total hedonistic freedom.
It's exhausting just watching her. So we start out with them riding bikes. It seems cute. The scenery is gorgeous. Catie is bragging to Josh that she was such a good girl at her bachelorette party.
A hero, truly.
She's basically demanding a gold star because she followed the rules and didn't make out with any strangers at the bar.
Which, as a baseline for a bachelorette party right before your wedding, is a pretty low bar to clear.
Right.
Congratulations on your fidelity for one evening. Here is your medal. It's very telling that she views not cheating as a Herculean effort.
Exactly. So she's feeling very proud of herself. And then Josh gets vulnerable. He confesses that the night of her party, he stayed home alone and got blackout drunk.
And we need to look at the context of why he was drinking.
Yes. Let's keep it neutral, but explain the facts.
Josh was experiencing severe anxiety regarding his visa status and changing immigration policies, The news was overwhelming him with the threat of deportation for green card holders.
It's a very stressful situation.
He was isolated, terrified that the life he sacrificed everything for in America could be snatched away at any moment, and he self-medicated with alcohol.
Right, he was spiraling in anxiety about his future and his physical safety. He is pouring his heart out on this bike ride, looking for comfort, looking for a safe harbor in the woman he is about to marry.
And what does Catie do?
Oh, she uses this exact moment of profound vulnerability to pivot and casually pitch an open marriage.
I was screaming.
I could not believe my ears. She literally says, "How can I make you feel more welcome?" Also, what if I get bored in 5 years or tonight after 5 tequilas?
It was the most jarring transition in television history.
Absolutely unhinged.
The cognitive dissonance is absolutely staggering. We have to tear into her logic here.
Huh.
Because earlier this season, Catie was throwing an absolute fit. Right?
Oh, a massive fit.
She was demanding that Josh completely convert to Lutheranism so they could raise their future non-existent children in the church.
She made it a deal breaker. She dragged him to the pastor. She made him study the theology.
Yes. So religion is paramount, tradition is paramount, structure is paramount. But simultaneously, she is demanding an open marriage because she, quote-unquote, needs the chase and wants new experiences.
Make it make sense.
This is a textbook avoidant attachment style. The closer she gets to actual intimacy and commitment, the more she creates escape hatches to protect herself from vulnerability.
I am so confused by her, though. Like, does she actually want an open marriage, or is she just testing him?
I mean,
Because part of me thinks she wants him to fight for her and say, "No, you are mine, I won't share you," like a romantic movie trope.
I think she wants the security, the ring, and the dual income household of a traditional husband. But she wants the lifestyle of a college sophomore on spring break.
Oh, Peter Pan syndrome.
Completely. She wants to have her cake, eat it too, and then go to the bakery and make out with the baker.
She wants him to sit at home, faithfully reading the Lutheran Bible, while she goes out and macks on strangers at a dive bar because she's bored.
And she's framing it like it's a quirky, fun personality trait.
Oh.
I just love the chase.
She is trying to bully him into an alternative relationship structure that he fundamentally does not want. He said he wants to build a home and have kids, and she is treating marriage like a prison sentence that she needs a hall pass for.
She struck him when he was already down about his immigration status, adding intense relationship insecurity on top of his geopolitical insecurity.
It's just cruel. Speaking of using religion to shield yourself from the reality of your selfish choices, we have to talk about Ashia and Maxwell,
Ashia almighty.
the Lord's favorite delusional bride.
This is where the weaponization of morality reaches its absolute peak. Ashia wraps her biological anxiety in an impenetrable shield of theology.
So Ashia sits down for an intervention. It's the night before her shotgun wedding, and her godbrother Rod and a family friend Catie pull her aside.
Rod is not holding back.
Not at all.
He looks at Maxwell, this man she met on Tinder and has known for 5 minutes, and flat out says his resume is like a newborn baby and calls him a scammer.
Which, okay, I will admit Rod is intense. His delivery is aggressive.
Very aggressive.
But Catie is just trying to gently say, "Hey, you're moving too fast. Your mom and sisters are terrified, but too scared of your attitude to say anything." They are begging her to slow down.
And this raises an important question. Why is she rushing?
Good question.
Ashia claims this is all God ordained. The universe, the Lord, the spiritual realm, everyone is telling her to marry Maxwell immediately.
But then she slips up in her confessional.
The mask has slipped.
She completely drops the holy act and admits the real motive. She says she's losing eggs every month and is ready to get knocked up.
Boom, there it is.
And then she admits she's jealous that Rod and Catie get to go home to their spouses for the holidays, and she is desperate for a last name so she isn't lonely at Christmas.
It is entirely driven by a biological clock and a profound fear of being alone.
Which is normal.
Listen, those are completely valid human fears. The societal pressure on women regarding fertility timelines is immense. But instead of owning that vulnerability, she wraps it up in this armor of piety so no one can question her. If you question her timeline, you are not questioning Ashia, you are questioning God.
It's the ultimate fabric shopping with Maxwell's sister, Blaze. And Blaze is very politely expressing valid concerns. She's worried about how her brother will treat her.
Sisterly concern. She is speaking from a place of love.
And Ashia looks at her dead in the eye and compares herself to Jesus Christ going to the cross. She basically calls her future sister-in-law Satan. She quotes the Bible, "Get thee behind me, Satan, you're my stumbling block."
The sheer narcissism it takes to equate your rushed reality TV Tinder marriage to the crucifixion of Christ. I am speechless.
It's why.
It is a profound lack of self-awareness. She frames herself as a martyr suffering for a holy cause, when in reality she is just a woman making a highly questionable, legally binding decision because she wants a baby by December.
I was spiraling. I actually paused the TV and walked around my apartment to process it.
I don't blame you.
And then, back at the intervention table, when Rod actually holds her accountable and repeats her own words back to her about wanting a baby, she lightly taps the table, stands up, and storms off, declaring, "I don't do violence."
No, you don't do accountability. Nobody was being violent.
Not at all.
There was no raised voice, no physical threat. She was looking for an escape hatch the minute she realized they weren't going to just nod and agree with her delusion. The word violence was used completely inappropriately to shut down a conversation she was losing.
Ashia is running from accountability because she's racing the biological clock for a baby. But our next couple is blowing up their entire wedding over one.
Let's talk about the point of no return, Mallory and Raise It.
The tension here is so thick you could cut it with a knife. We are watching the sunk cost of international relocation collide with fundamental incompatibility.
It's a train wreck. Mallory finally dropped the bomb on Raise It, that she is not ready for kids right now.
Which, to be fair to Race It, she absolutely should have told him before he packed up his entire life, quit his job, left his family, and moved across the globe.
Completely. That's a foundational conversation.
You have to have that talk.
So Race It is reeling. He FaceTimes his brother back home for advice, and the brother is pure poison.
Oh, he is the worst.
He immediately tells Race It, if she doesn't want to give you kids, she clearly doesn't love you.
Ugh, that is such a toxic leap to make. A woman's reproductive choices are not a direct metric of her love for her partner. I wanted to reach through the screen and shake the brother.
This is what we call external enmeshment. Instead of talking to his partner, Race It allows a third party who is culturally and geographically removed from the situation to dictate his emotional response.
And it works.
The brother tells him to issue a hard ultimatum. So what does Razit do? He waits until they are literally touring a wedding venue.
They are looking at table linens, they were looking at floral arrangements, and discussing whether to have the cocktail hour on the patio.
And Razit drops the hammer. He looks at her in this beautiful romantic setting and says, no baby, no marriage, we are done.
My heart did break a little for Mallory because you can see her feeling completely cornered and pressured.
She was panicking.
She's crying, saying, "I just need more time, I can't. Right now, my life is in transition." But wait, let me argue your side for a second. Is Razit justified in doing this?
I mean, he is justified in wanting children, and he is justified in feeling betrayed that she hid her hesitation.
Right.
But as the cynic, I have to point out the absolute insanity of looking at wedding venues when you haven't decided if you're having children.
It's so backwards.
It is the spatial irony of the season. You are booking a caterer while debating the very existence of your future family. Razit feels completely played.
He does.
He feels like she trapped him in America under false pretenses. And honestly, they both failed spectacularly at communicating the most fundamental aspect of a marriage.
If you think forcing a baby is bad, wait until you see someone trying to force a fairy tale out of an absolute nightmare.
Oh boy.
Let's finish the recap with the darkest relationship on television, Debby and Mido.
The macaroni spaghetti massacre.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Gottman's 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in relationships, because Mido is writing all 4 of them simultaneously.
So Debby, in a desperate attempt to create a cute romantic bonding moment and fix the fact that he constantly insults her, takes Mido to a cooking class.
Because he's always complaining about her food.
Right, so she thinks, let's learn together. The instructor is a chef named Austin wearing a backwards hat, teaching them how to make fresh pasta from scratch.
It's supposed to be playful. It's a date.
Exactly. And Mido completely refuses to participate. He stands there with his arms crossed, his body language entirely closed off, mocking the entire experience.
He tells the chef, this is basic spaghetti. I can make this better at home. I don't need this.
He is so incredibly rude, not just to Debby, but to the poor backwards hat chef who is just trying to teach them how to knead dough.
And Debby is just standing there practically begging for a crumb of affection. She asks him if he's happy, if he loves her.
And the response he gives, It will literally haunt my nightmares forever.
He gives her this forced, terrifying fake kiss,
Mm.
and his face distorts into this literal Joker smile.
It was horrifying.
He blows a kiss and says, "Love you too," with a face that screams pure, unadulterated contempt.
The visible disgust he has for this woman is chilling.
Going back to psychology, Dr. John Gottman says that contempt, sneering, eye-rolling, mocking your partner is the #1 predictor of divorce.
Wow.
It destroys the immune system of the relationship. Mito doesn't just dislike Debby. He is repulsed by her.
But Debbie's delusion is completely bulletproof. She refuses to see it. She meets up with her friends Astra, Sue, and Laura.
These are the friends that Mito screamed at in a previous episode.
Yes. And she casually flashes her ring at them, sipping her drink, and drops the bomb. The wedding is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And she didn't invite them. She didn't invite her best friends to her wedding because Mito hasn't forgiven them for defending Debby when he was yelling at her.
This is classic isolation. An abusive or controlling partner will systematically cut you off from your support system.
And it's working.
He alienated her friends, and she willingly goes along with it to keep the peace.
Oh.
And it gets worse. Debbie's incredibly hot son, Caden, hasn't even met Mito yet, and he might not even come to the wedding tomorrow.
Debbie starts crying, saying she absolutely won't get married without Caden there. It's her last remaining boundary.
I will put my Monopoly money on the table right now. I bet everything that she totally will marry him, even if Caden doesn't show up.
You really think so?
She is too desperate for this to end any other way. The sunk cost is too high.
All right, Snark Squad, take a deep breath, sip your spritz, because it is time for segment 1, passport or problem.
The premise is simple. We rapid-fire judge the couple's core issue, but we have to justify our answers based on the psychological evidence we've seen.
Let's do it.
For each major couple, we must definitively label the relationship as one of the following: genuine love, a cultural misunderstanding, a communication disaster, or a giant red flag wearing a romantic outfit.
I am going to try so hard to find the genuine love here, you guys. I believe in romance. Let's start with Thomas and Paula.
I am slamming the button on giant red flag wearing a romantic outfit. Actually, it's not even wearing a romantic outfit. It's a giant red flag wearing an unscented trash bag.
Oh my God.
The man kept 2-year-old expired meat and banned deodorant. That is coercive control, full stop.
I really want to argue that it's a communication disaster, because maybe they just don't know how to compromise, but yeah, no, you're right. Giant red flag. He has a $4,000 computer and makes her mother sit on a gaming chair.
Exactly. Okay, what about Catie and Josh?
Communication disaster, bordering on giant red flag for Catie. She fundamentally wants a different lifestyle, but strung him along until he was already terrified about his immigration status, and then she dropped the open marriage bomb.
I'll agree with communication disaster. Josh genuinely seems to love her, but Catie is speaking the language of spring break hedonism while he is speaking mortgage, minivans, and Lutheran hymns.
Next, Marissa and Edward.
Giant red flag wearing a romantic outfit. Specifically, Marissa is the red flag, and the outfit is her Lululemon bar class leggings.
That's so specific and so accurate.
She is deeply manipulative and uses Darvu to punish Edward for having boundaries.
It breaks my heart, but I agree. I was hoping for a cultural misunderstanding with the "you're lost" comment, but the way she weaponized her tears to make herself the victim. Total red flag.
Moving on, Osha and Maxwell.
Giant red flag wearing a romantic outfit. Osha is using this poor man as a sperm donor and a holiday +1 to stick it to her family, all while hiding behind the Bible.
I cannot defend her calling her sister-in-law Satan just for asking basic questions. Red flag it is. Mallory and raise it.
This is the purest definition of a communication disaster. They are at a wedding venue arguing about the absolute most basic foundation of a marriage.
They should have had this conversation before he ever applied for the visa.
I agree. I do think there might be a tiny sliver of genuine love buried under the resentment, but the communication is in the toilet and the brothers' enmeshment is destroying it.
Finally, Debby and Mado.
Giant red flag. Massive. Visible from space. He hates her. She is delusional. It is a tragedy in motion fueled by pure contempt.
Honestly, it's a giant red flag wearing a backwards cooking class hat. There is zero genuine love to be found in that Joker smile.
You tried, bestie. You really tried to find the romance. Let's move to segment 2, customs and confessions.
Okay, in this segment, we pretend each cast member is stopped at relationship customs at the airport, and they are forced to answer brutally honest questions under penalty of perjury before they are allowed into the country.
They cannot lie.
I'll take Thomas first. Step up to the podium, sir. Hand on the scanner.
Ask him.
Under penalty of perjury, are you actually allergic to perfume? Or do you just deeply hate joy, spontaneity, and anything that brings pleasure to other people because it disrupts your rigid control over your environment?
Ooh, brutal. And I know the answer. He hates joy. He wants a sterile box.
Exactly. Okay, Catie, step right up. Put your hand on the scanner.
If Josh suddenly decided he wanted to sleep with other women, would you still want an open marriage, or do you just want a one-sided hall pass so you can have the thrill of the chase without any of the consequences?
Oh, we all know the answer to that. She would absolutely lose her mind and start quoting Lutheran scripture if he looked at another woman.
100%. All right, Ashia, look into the camera.
Did God actually speak to you and tell you to marry Maxwell, or is that just your biological clock speaking in tongues because you want a baby before December and you are terrified of being alone?
The table tapping intensifies. I don't do violence, but I will lie to customs.
And finally, Mido. Step up. You don't even have to speak. Just blink twice if you actually like Debby.
Just twice. Let's wait.
Silence. I am looking at him. He is not blinking.
Exactly. Staring blankly with the Joker smile. He couldn't do it. The contempt is too strong.
This brings us to segment 3, Lost in Translation. This is where we break down the episode's most confusing conversations and discuss what was actually said, what was heard, and how the conversation could have gone differently if these people had an ounce of emotional intelligence.
Let's focus on Edward and Marissa first, because this was textbook miscommunication turned into psychological warfare. Let's break down Edward's "your loss" comment at the dinner table.
Right. Edward said, if you cheat on me, it's your loss. What he meant was, I am doing the emotional work you asked me to do. I am becoming secure.
Yes.
I am releasing my irrational jealousy, and I recognize my own self-worth. I am a catch, and I trust myself.
He was trying to be healthy and secure, but what Marissa heard was, I am an aggressive, angry monster who is threatening you and refusing to bow down to your authority as the CEO of this relationship.
How could this have gone differently?
Oh, that's easy. Marissa going to intensive therapy before ever trying to date another human being.
Agreed.
She needs to learn that a partner setting a boundary is not an attack. If she had just said, I appreciate you working on your jealousy, thank you, they could have had a lovely dinner.
Spot on. Let's look at focus number 2, Catie and Josh. Let's break down Catie's pitch for new experiences on the bike ride.
So Catie says, I don't want to close off my experiences. What if I get bored?
What she meant was, I am terrified of growing up, I am terrified of finality, and I still want to be able to make out with strangers at dive bars when I've had too many tequila shots because it validates my youth.
Exactly. But what Josh heard was, my absolute worst fears of American instability and moral decay are coming true.
So sad.
The woman I crossed an ocean for, the woman I changed my religion for, treats our sacred vows like a temporary suggestion right when I am most terrified about my visa.
It's heartbreaking. He's looking for a rock in a storm, and she's offering him a handful of sand.
If she had just said, I know you're stressed about your visa, I am here for you, we are a team, it would have changed everything.
Which perfectly transitions us into segment 4, Next Flight Out. It is time for our official predictions for the rest of the season based on all this psychological profiling.
Okay, let's start with a tough one. Which couple is actually improving?
I have a sarcastic answer ready.
Let's hear it.
The only thing improving is Thomas's gaming PC. I think he's going to upgrade his graphics card, maybe get a new ergonomic keyboard, maybe add some more LED lights.
Because he cares about that more than Paula.
Exactly. As for Paula, she's deteriorating by the second. She is fading into the walls.
I have to agree. Paula is going to become completely transparent by the finale. Okay. Which relationship is heading for severe turbulence?
Mallory and Racet. The combination of a prenup debate and an aggressive baby ultimatum at a wedding venue. That is a fatal combo.
There is no coming back from that level of resentment on both sides. The brother planted the seed of doubt, and it is going to grow into a giant thorny vine that chokes the wedding out.
Okay, what is the next shocking secret to be revealed?
I am predicting that Paula is going to secretly sneak out of the 800-square-foot clown car apartment, march down to the nearest Sephora, and just spray herself head to toe in Dior absolute perfume.
A fragrant rebellion.
Yes, and then walk back into the apartment just to see what happens.
I love it. She's going to walk in smelling like a botanical garden, and Thomas is going to short circuit.
Who is one argument away from booking a return flight?
Josh. He has the bags packed in his mind already. The minute she brings up kissing another man again, or the minute she complains about church, he is booking a one-way ticket back to Europe. His anxiety cannot take another hit.
Okay, give me one completely ridiculous prediction that somehow feels entirely possible in the cinematic universe.
Debbie's hot son, Caden.
Oh,
He
yes.
shows up to the wedding tomorrow, takes one look at Mino's Joker smile and the absolute contempt on his face, and ends up fighting him in the hotel lobby while the uninvited friends cheer from the parking lot.
I would pay pay-per-view money to see that. I am manifesting that with all my tiny Monopoly money stacks.
Well, Snark Squad, the chaos is winding down for today, and it is time for us to take a breath and integrate what we've learned.
Before you go, consider this provocative thought. In an era where we have smartphones that can instantly translate any language on Earth, and where we have endless access to therapy, speak, and communication tools on TikTok, why are we fundamentally worse at communicating our basic core needs to our partners than ever before?
It's so true.
Marissa uses therapy words to manipulate, Catie uses open-mindedness to avoid commitment, and no one is actually just saying how they feel. We have all the words, but we've lost the meaning.
It's the paradox of modern connection. We want to hear from you in the comments and reviews. We have 3 questions for you this week.
Number 1, what modern convenience could you absolutely never give up for a partner? Are you team dishwasher or team air conditioning?
Number 2, have you ever taken a class where the instructor was so dangerously attractive, it compromised your learning? We need Giovanni updates from the audience. Have you ever accidentally learned a language out of lust?
And number 3, what ridiculous thing are you currently manifesting into existence? Are you doing the Monopoly money strategy? Let us know your delusions.
Thank you all so much for listening and spiraling with us today.
Keep your passport ready, trust your instincts, and we'll see you on the Snark side.